Hey, good evening, everyone. We are live with Jane Unchained News. This is Naijha Wright-Brown reporting from the headquarters of the Land of Kush. I come over the Land of Kush, and I'm executive director of the Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland. So we're so happy to have you all here. And we have two special guests in the house, and I'm going to get it rolling with the bios and play a short snippet of one of our guest videos. So here we go. Starting with Gray.
Hey, what's going on?
Gray is one of the hottest emerging artists at the intersection between activism, urban style, and hip hop, a growing Atlanta institution in his own right. Gray became one of the most talked about acts of 2016 after his vegan Thanksgiving freestyle and music video took the internet by storm. Yeah, that video was hot, man. Notching a total of 30 plus million views. He was catapulted from local stardom to the global stage. Even PETA and Whole Foods supported his release, proving the cross marketability of Gray and his message. His music and clothing line, Plant Based Drippin, is creating a new energy in the vegan community. A lyricist, activist, and social entrepreneur, Gray is nothing short of refreshing. With a clear, understandable, and sophisticated flow, Gray is an artist to watch in 2020 and years to come. He likes vegan cooking, vegan cooking, just might surprise you. So everybody, we're welcoming Gray to the Jane Unchained Plant-Based Dripping with an ex-gangster turned vegan coach. So give it up to Gray.
That's love.
Now, Nim, we got Coach Nim, born and raised in the Bronx. Now, I'm from the South Bronx. He's from the South Bronx. That's my hometown. Raised in the Bronx, New York City, is the prime example of a change, and that change is definitely possible. Ask around Coach Nim's old neighborhood, and the stories about his past can be horrifying, to say the least. Although he was brought up and raised accustomed to the tune of guns, drugs, and violence, we are happy to say today that we have the pleasure of enjoying the new and improved him right here before us. Coach Nim is not only an amazing MC and awesome trainer, Coach Nim is a blessing and a much needed warrior in our community today. Coach Nim has transformed his life and his diet from an unhealthy way of eating and thinking to becoming a full vegan with a clear and positive outlook on life. He was featured on Stick of Dead Prez, the founder of RBG Fit Records' crucially acclaimed album, The Workout, which debuted at #1 on the iTunes fitness chart and is the first ever to merge hip hop and holistic health. And that's powerful. Coach Nim is now a certified personal trainer, cardio group instructor, self-defense coach, boxing coach, and a bunch of other things that he's going to let you know about in his interview. So welcome, Nim, and we're going to play a short clip because you have an amazing story, and I want everyone to hear that story, okay? So if y'all can bear with me, I'm going to share that video. I lost it 1 second. Coach Nim, I had it up here and then now it's gone. Bear me 1 moment. I mean, because the video definitely sends a positive message. There we go. Give me 1 second. RBG Fit Club.
Peace. My name is Coach Nim. You know what I mean? RBG Fit Club Records. I come from the grit, man. I come from where it's, low income. You know what I mean? Bad diets. You know what I'm saying? And obviously a lot of crime. You know what I mean? So that's basically where I'm coming from, man. The Bronx. Hip hop, to be honest with you, is a language in the hood, in the ghetto, however you want to say it, inner city communities, it's a language, it's a way we express ourselves, and it's a way, you know, we basically are able to channel a lot of the situations we going through. You know what I'm saying? Through hip hop. My background, I'm Puerto Rican, so you know, and 90%, if not 100% of Boricua homes, fried food, pork, you know, you name it, everything, and it just comes from, you know, the ancestors. They gave us what they gave us, and we learned how to make that work. Ain't nobody care about eating healthy. Ain't nobody care about it was fried this, fried that. Everything we eat down the plantains is fried. But my mom has been ill. She's gone through a stroke. She's just been diagnosed pre-diabetic, 2 diverticulitis surgeries. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, it's just like it's motivating me to help my mom because I want her here forever. I made a lot of changes in my life. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, you know, I'm from outside. I used to, you know, smoke blunts heavy all day, every day. You know, you couldn't give me enough. You know what I'm saying? You know, drinking, you name it. And you know, I ain't no saint. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely have learned to X out certain things in my life. You know, and I realized how much it was worth the sacrifice because of the gains that I've gotten. You know, I'm healthier, faster, my mind is clearer, so on and so forth. So yeah, it was definitely worth the sacrifice. We are trying to transform people's lives. We are trying to change your life. I change people's lives every day. You know, I moved to Miami. Just even that in itself for brothers that I know that can't even leave the neighborhood due to certain circumstances and so on and so forth. I'm like, you know, I'm an inspiration. Oh wow, you know, Nim got up, Nim went to Miami. You know, Nim ain't just hugging the corner no more. Nim is in BJJ. He got a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. You know, Nim went from, you know, like a lot of my homies don't know what the hell they gonna do tomorrow, to saying, you know what, I've been working out my whole life. I've been in and out of boxing. I've been doing all these different things. Well, you know what? I'm going to train people with the skills I have, you know, and I'm going to change lives. So whether it's going to be through music or it's going to be through, you know, my personal training or the jewels I might have to give to someone, the main thing is, you know, it's a life changer. And that's what we're doing. We're changing people's lives. My fight, my championship, my end is just to have everybody on our wave and realizing that you could be the same dude, get as fresh as you want, get fly, do everything you do, but take care of yourself.
Being healthy is the way of life. Being healthy is the way of life.
We got to stop it there, you know, because of the whole music situation. But there you go, Coach Nam. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. So let's get the conversation started, okay? This is serious business. Gray, starting with you. Mm-hmm. How did your journey begin? When did were you vegan all your life, or how did this start?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't vegan all my life. Farthest thing from it, my girl Chef Nikki in the Mix. Shout out to Chef Nikki in the Mix. She had a admiration for animals, and one day she would watch these PETA videos. She was like, "Look, I can't do this no more. We're going vegan." So I'm like, "Okay, who is we? And what you talking about? Because I'm not going vegan with you, you know." Her very first meal she cooked, though, she cooked Gardein chicken, like Cajun chicken Alfredo. So I'm like, hold on, I thought we were supposed to be eating grass tonight. You said vegan. Like, I ain't know you can eat pasta, you know what I mean? So that changed my mind right there, my aspect of it. So like 4 months into it, she was like, "Look, I'm gonna buy all the food, I'm cooking all the food." And she got me transitioned in 4 months, you know, changed my whole mindset. Never even seen it coming. You know?
Where did the music start? Like this whole, the vegan Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, music started for me young. Like I always wanted to do music since I was 9. Since, you know, since I seen Bone Thugs and Harmony, that was like the first group that inspired me to be to artist. So I went on and kept rapping, and I think 2015 I quit my job. 2015 I quit my job in November. November 2015 I quit my job. I used to do freestyles in my car every Friday. I did it for like 2 years straight, and then one day I went to go do a freestyle on almost a year later after I quit my job, and I heard beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my freestyle on this beat this week. Not even knowing like the outcome it would have and the impact it would have on my life. But yeah, that happened what, August or November 2016, I think. That's when
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So you knew in the game. I mean, okay, cool, awesome. This is good. That's good. I was glad we could get you out to Vegan Soul Fest 1 year, and then to the Maryland Vegan Eat celebration that we had here. So you're doing an amazing job. I don't have to tell you that. You got a lot of followers. Coach Nim, what happened over there?
I'm here. I'm enjoying. I'm soaking it up. I'm here. I'm with you.
What was your journey like? Where did it start?
Well, just like Gray, I wasn't vegan my whole life either. Chicken stores around the corner, pizza shop is around the corner. New York is super convenient for all that. That type of food. 24 hours, the chicken store is always open.
Right.
My introduction was how would I put it? It was something else. I was on tour with Dead Prez, with Erykah Badu. We were in Cali on the Let's Get Free tour. And, here I am. I'm just one of the dudes on tour. So when there's food out there and ain't no meat, and everything was in back. And at this time, when they were doing vegan stuff, there wasn't no nice products like Gardein and all that. It was just some tofu or fresh this and fresh that. And I think at the time, Erykah was live, like eating only live foods at that time. I believe so at that time. So It was crazy for me. So that was my introduction. And I haven't been back since. I probably stopped. I weaned off. I stopped pork when I was 16 when I got into Supreme Mathematics. So I did that on the block. Everybody was reading the back of Red 40. We reading it. We checking it out. What is that? What's this? What's that? You can't eat that. Smack it out your hand. Like I grew up in that type of situation. So the pork was pretty easy. I grew up, like I said, Puerto Rican. There's all these, different dishes that we have at home. But I transitioned from that. I stopped pork is 16. Probably I did a master cleanse. I tried a master cleanse. Well, one day I didn't last probably 2 days. And went to McDonald's and I ate everything that was there. I said, give me this, give me that, give me this. I couldn't have it. Fine. I ate that and I had the worst headache of my life. I felt like crap. I felt like I felt like crap. And that was the day. That was the day that I said, all this stuff that I'm eating, I can't eat anymore and I got to move forward. And I just started introducing more things. Luckily that I had the experience I had from being around the homies, they've been plant-based for so long. It was a little bit easier. I was able to jump on the phone. Hey, how do you make this? How do you get that? So, and here we are.
Great. That's good. Great. The music. So you were on tour, so that's how you started with the music and everything. And now you all have the concept of the hip hop, which is what attracted me to what you all were doing. And my husband Greg, he's definitely a diehard hip hop fan. KRS-One. Yeah, Nim shouting you out, Greg, the homie.
Yeah, that's the homie.
Sure. He's definitely a fan of his. And sometimes I gotta ask him questions about some certain artists. But when the 10th element of hip hop, the CD dropped that Stick executive produced, and I heard some of the tracks that you had, like Worth the Sacrifice, and there were a couple of them. I said, wow, this is definitely a new movement. Definitely something that needs to be explored and promoted and exposed. So that's kind of how I gravitated to all of this fit hop, because we need it. We definitely need it in the community, and it speaks to the work that you're doing with the training and being a model for the youth. So definitely great work there. I have this question that I've been asking the guests all week because it's something that frustrates me every time I hear this. How do you respond when people say vegan food isn't real food? You can't possibly be eating food unless you're eating animals. How do you respond to that?
First of all, I don't push, I don't push my diet on anybody. That's first off. So I really don't have questions like that with people, you know what I mean? And I would just think they're ignorant in the sense, I'm like, bro, everything you eat is seasoned with the same stuff that I'm eating. It tastes the way it tastes because of all these, these seasoning, the vegetables and everything that's on it already. That's why I taste that way. You don't eat those things bland anyway. But just me personally, I don't cater this, to those type of conversations. Everybody that's around me is either asking me, you know, hey, what can I do next? How can I be, you know, get more like your diet is? Or you know, like I really don't have conversations like that with people. Be honest, like just totally honest. I don't.
Avoid conflict.
You good? It makes you feel good. You know, like my grandmother lived to 98 years old. So the only people I deal with this conversation is my family. So when I'm home and I'm like, Mom, stop eating that. Now you know better. My grandmother lived eating whatever she wanted to 98 years old. So it's a harder argument that I got pushing in the house, you know. But what I do tell them is eat what makes you feel good. Stay away from anything that's not, you know, stay away from the processed stuff as much as you can. And, you know, eat what makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Good advice. Gray, what about you? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, no, it's the same. I really don't get that question much, but if, you know, I always put myself in that person's shoes because I was that person one time. You know, I like, what is vegetables? I would have been that type of person to put my like 2 cents on a vegan protest or something. I was just that type of guy. But so when I hear it, I just be like, okay, all right. Like I really don't have a rebuttal for it because like my man said, it is, you know, it's just ignorance. You know, I think it's just the lack of knowledge of the food. So I really don't, you know, do away with the person. You know, it's just like, okay, bro, you're right. All right, you know. But
I'm putting it in the chat here. It's fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds. You know, and if you're allergic to nuts, you're allergic to nuts and seeds. You can't have that. But it's fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, beans, and legumes. So I'm not sure like what the you know what I'm saying? That's food. That sounds food to me, right? Like, so I guess it's a matter of, you know, we all have this job to you know, re-educate or, you know, turn back the miseducation. But it always bothers me when people say that because they're saying lamb and kush isn't real food. They're saying, you know, all these vegan restaurants out here aren't real food. And it just doesn't make sense to me when this is the food that's medicine. You know, if you're eating whole-based food, food is medicine. And this is what we should be eating because we're the population with the worst health disparities. We got the diabetes, the heart disease, cancer, stroke, obesity. And, you know, we're the population that's, you know, and not just us, there are other populations that do it, but we have to focus on us because we are the largest population with these health disparities. You know, obviously we know why that is, but, you know, we have to be the teachers out there to make sure that everyone is aware that this is real food and this is how you should be eating. Now, the food desert issue, that's a whole nother topic, you know, that's, you know, larger than us, and we got to do what we can, you know, to help with that. But again, it's a bigger problem than us. Your greatest challenges while you've been on this journey, what has been the greatest challenge that you faced on this path?
Me personally, it's honestly marijuana has been
which is okay.
I'm gonna keep it 100. You're asking, I'm gonna keep it 100. It's been marijuana. Why? Because it's always around. It's always in the studio. I'm never really, you know, I'm not, thankfully I'm not addicted anymore. I don't have, you know, but it's been there. It's been present. You know, I'm just real familiar with it. I'm like, it's more legal. It's everywhere now. I'm like, I said, but that's been the challenge for me, honestly. Being, you know, just being sober, being someone that's changed his life, you know, and someone that's just trying to stay away from, you know, just things that are just not productive for myself. And
that's hard in the hood. I know. I come from there. So it's definitely a negotiating your environment constantly.
Totally. And I'm not one to tell someone else they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing what they're doing. You know, if you're abusing something and, you know, I care about you, I'm gonna say, hey man, you know, you might want to think about that. You know what I mean? But other than that, you know, I really haven't seen it as a big deal, you know, everything in moderation. But that's been a challenge for me, as well as just honestly trying to get people to understand the message, to get people to get with it. You know, to know what we're pushing, why we're pushing it. You know, I have like, I'm pretty sure Gray as well. You know, you're around the homies all the time. My little homies love drill music. They love they love what's popping right now, and I do too. I love to see them doing, having fun. I love to see them having fun. And that challenge has been that. It's been also to mix that in there, to get that in there, to get them to get on the same wave that we on.
How do you get them to respond to the music? I mean, is it positive hip hop? Are they receptive to it, or what's been their response?
A lot of them tell me they want the old Nim back. They like, I want that old Nim back, right? I tell them this is Nim. This is Nim. All right, and this is what's going on right now. So basically, my reason for even doing what I did was I couldn't be the person who sat on the sideline, kept saying this is not good, this is not working, this isn't right, but I'm contributing just as well. And as long as it didn't affect me personally, I'm okay. I dodged that one. It didn't, right? My brother was killed in prison. And that was it for me. It was it for me because, you can, I don't know, you have a beef in the street or something, you kind of could just go see something. Let me holler at you, whatever the case may be. This machine, which is, those people are so big, I just felt so helpless. I was like, I got to do something to change so that the next person's brother doesn't go through something like this. My nephews don't go through nothing like this, and yeah. We
can impact one, then we've done something. So yeah, so we got to. Awesome. Gray?
I think like on the surface level, in the beginning was cheese and chocolate. You know what I mean? Like going on a plant-based diet was giving up that cheese and chocolate, man. I just, it took a while to find a substitute. But like more like what Nim said, like on a deeper level, yeah, it's really like, okay, how do I take these gifts that I was given as a writer or an artist and try to incorporate this new lifestyle without jeopardizing who I am? Like, how can I introduce it to people and change, the way they're thinking without jeopardizing who I am and coming off as preachy, because I know that's not going to reach them. You know what I mean? So that's like the challenge is always like how to put the medicine in the candy, cleverly with music. I'm talking about music. So that's pretty much like the challenge and the ongoing process. But hip hop I think it's in a great state. Like I see a lot of good things happening, and I see this tool being used the right way. So we just got to get back to meaningful music. Comes from
exactly.
Like
we had it. We can definitely get back to it. So it's just it's happening. The fact it's a top chart workout, like that's amazing. So there's a market for it, and we just got to keep pushing and keep pressing. Thank you for that. Successes. What have been your greatest successes and impact to someone else's life?
I hear it all the time, and I'm grateful from the DMs that I get from seeing brothers and sisters working out to the music, telling me, I changed, I'm doing this, you inspired me to get up out of bed. Morning is my joint, mantras is my joint, Dope Man is my joint. So to me, that's a success. Us being able to take something that we really love, which is this new lane of hip hop, which is fit hop, and get it inducted into, it being the 10th element now when there were only 9 elements. That's a great success. To be healthy, to be alive. So to me, that's successful for me. To be here, alive, and being able to give back to everybody.
Yeah, I would say obviously the vegan Thanksgiving was probably the height, or not the height, but like so far, but I think like DMs and comments and people just saying, bro, your music's changing my life. My whole family went vegan from the vegan Thanksgiving. Like, messages like that keep me inspired and keep me going. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We have someone just saying some things about being vegan. I mean, one of them that comes up a lot is vegans are malnourished, and obviously I'm pushing. I'm going to be 50 in a couple of years, and I think I'm far from malnourished. Now, there may be certain vitamins and minerals that you need to have that maybe you're not eating enough of a food, but that's all just a matter of assessing what you're eating and make sure you're eating the proper foods. And a lot of times, you know, you may need a supplement for something. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? How vegans are malnourished?
I think it's incorrect, but like once again, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. You know,
Right.
you might need something. It might be vegetables that don't agree with you, don't agree with your stomach. You know, vice versa. You know, with different fruits and vegetables and so on and so forth. It's important to pay attention, I believe, to your body. It's important.
Right.
It's really important. You know, if you're going to take something out, especially in the transition of, you know, going maybe from a bad diet to a plant-based diet, you should do the research. You should look up. You should see, all right, I'm going to take out this. Let me see how it feels. The same thing a nutritionist does to you to find out if you have food allergies, right? They'll take everything away. They'll introduce it little by little. They'll see how you react to it. They go, oh, yeah, that's no good for you. That's not right. Same deal to me, same deal. Do your research. See what the heck you're about to get yourself into. You know, if you're someone that takes on big challenges with no problem, then go all the way in. If not, little baby steps. Maybe put this down. Maybe, you know, maybe stop refined sugar, so on and so forth, moving forward. But I think it's important to do that so that you don't become malnourished and you're not missing anything in your diet that you're supposed to have or you should have or you need.
Yeah, sugar is, and any form of sugar, too much of it is bad. And you know, myself personally, I work with a holistic doctor and a physician. You know, I get the yearly checkup just because it's on record, because we're under that health philosophy, you know, here in the States. So you get your checkup, but I also have a holistic doctor that's able to detect, you know, whatever's going on and whatever I need. And I've been fine. You know, I had a child at age 40, the first child, natural birth, no complications. And I owe it to, you know, just being healthy, eating healthy, and, you know, spiritually thinking healthy, you know, because it's also in the mind too. Great. What do you add to that with the malnutrition, being a vegan?
I think it's just the misconception, because I think they see all vegans like tend to lose weight, and I think
eating French fries all the time, because you have a child too. Your child's vegan, right?
Yeah.
I have an 8-year-old is vegan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think it's just you know, especially in Western society, like the more and even in our own families, like if you're eating well or you gain a little weight, it's like, oh man, you doing good. Like you eating good. You know, like it's a compliment to be, you know, just a little bit heavy or filling out. But when you start thinning out, it's like, oh boy, you look sick. Like, you know, something like that. So it's just again, I think it's incorrect. I do think misinformation and just a judgment thing at that point. But
these guys, they got dietitians and stuff like that out there for. So I mean, we're not doctors.
Right.
You know, we just are pure examples of the plant-based living, vegan living is working if you're consuming the right things. And of course, you don't want to overconsume, whether you're vegan or non-vegan. A lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar and things like that. French fries every day, all day is not going to cut it. So,
right.
Have any of you touched someone's life in your journey? Someone personally that's come up to you, or anything you want to share in that regard?
I mean, I've converted a couple friends. I have friends, a couple cousins. My mom converted one day. That was huge for me, but I wanted to do more than just one. But no, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think friends that are directly, you know, in our circle, and then, you know, extended friends and family via the social media, people who reach out every day, DM, stuff like that. So
yeah.
Likewise. You know, DMs, cousins, family. My phone is, I'm the doctor in the family, you know, without the certificate. Hey, what's up? Can I do this? What's the workout? So yeah.
How has the pandemic affected you, yourself personally, and your business or projects that you're working on? Because we've all been affected. Atlantic Fish is down in revenue, and we've had to make changes and things like that. So we're all navigating through the pandemic. How has it affected you, and what are you doing about it?
I've been okay, thankfully. I did lose maybe 3 clients, just based on where they live and the fear of the pandemic. Other than that, I've been blessed enough to do it online, and I have some that, some people that are close in my neighborhood that I've still been training. So that's been great. So the only other thing I would say is just, misperforming, miss being, in venues and stuff like that. So yeah.
I can imagine. You had to do the virtual performances, get like the DJ.
Yeah.
Right.
It's wild now, man. Yeah, I think a lot of our business was festivals. We used to do like 30 festivals, a year. So when they just stopped, obviously that revenue went away. So it's just all about being creative and how you can change the model of your, online business or another side hustle. This is where it was a blessing, because it's like, man, it just opened your mind up to different streams of revenue. And it's like, I didn't even know I can capitalize on this. So I'm gonna focus more on this, that when we get back up and running, if something happens again, I still have that. So I think this whole pandemic just, especially for creatives, just help us get more creative and try to figure out how to make it work and shape,
I agree. That's how this started for me. I've been in the house and couldn't get out and do lives and things like that. So now this is what I'm doing, and I think that's a good thing. At Activist Fit is how we can follow you, Coach Nim, on IG. Yeah. Okay, right. And then at Plant Based.
Right, Activist Fit is my company, and obviously Coach Nim is me.
Okay, and at Coach Nim too.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Any upcoming projects? Because we're going to come out of this. I'm not sure about the new normalcy, or if we're going to get back to that. Nobody knows. But what projects are you working on that we can expect?
I'm working on the next album. As we speak, as soon as I get off with you guys, I'll be back in the studio doing what I'm doing. So that's the way I've been spending my time. I'm working on an ebook as well. I'm a couple of maybe 100 hours away from my meditation certification, so I can do guided meditation as well. So I've just been, I've been working.
Definitely keep us posted. I'm definitely into the meditation and everything. So I definitely want to know more about that. And what's the ebook about?
The ebook is basically, it's going to be about traveling. Everybody complains, about when we get back to traveling, right? So everybody, when we get back, so everybody complains that there's not enough time when they're on the road and so on and so forth. And I've created a program where you could work out for 30 seconds. And in all honesty, that's why my company's name is Activist Fit, because if you're active, you're fit. You're moving, walking around. There's no, you didn't do push-ups. You ain't healthy. Get out of here. If you're active, moving those lymph nodes, you're fit. So it's basically, I designed a program where all the way from 3 minutes to 30 seconds, you can do something. So, yeah. Awesome.
Question that came up, and this is a gentleman that was having issues when he was vegan, with all types of stuff that was going on with him. He wants to know, do we consume oil or no? I mean, I'm cooked with some oil. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, oil is your LDL levels, and I know that for sure. So I know if you can stay at a safe spot with oil, which is not too much, if you're gonna do something fried maybe once a week, but that's the whole thing, staying in a good, and then eating the healthiest. Like me personally, I don't do much, but if I do, it's, I try to go for like coconut oil. I don't know what you guys use, or peanut oil or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Soy oil, coconut oil, avocado oil.
Right.
Grapeseed oil.
Yes, great. I'm glad you said that. Yes, all types of oil. Pat, they're on Instagram, and you're also on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Instagram and Facebook, Pat. Do you have any websites available with your recipes? Before you answer that, right now I'm rolling the ticker for a free veg starter guide that was created for us by Tracy McWhirter. It's free. You can download it at AfricanAmericanVeganStarterGuide.com, and there's definitely some recipes there. But do you have any sites that you want to share that have recipes?
Yeah, we have the RBG Fit Club website.
Oh, nice. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, Fiat in there. So yeah, we do have.
Okay, I'm putting that up. Okay. What about you, Gray? Anything, you want to share? I know we're going
I don't have any recipes out there, but Chef Nikki just released her all vegan cakes. They call Nikki's Fat Ass Cakes, and they all vegan, and it's 3 easy steps, and these are the absolute best pancakes I had. So that's what we're eating for the last 7 days. Pancakes.
Yep. We're gonna be talking with Chef Nikki in the mix. She's gonna be in the mix in a second. I have another question for you all. Anything that you want to share on this broadcast that you've been thinking of sharing with viewers, or anytime you're talking to someone, you want to make sure you're making an impact with your message? What would you want to share? What do you want to say to the people?
Me personally, it's a very, 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 very important to be mindful of what you put in your body and what you put in your mind. Those 2 things to me are the most important thing, and I try to drill that to everybody. This pandemic is obviously a perfect example of it.
Yes.
Meaning that if you're taking care of yourself mentally, you're in a good space, you're doing your meditation, your affirmations, you're just being mindful. That will help you deal with all this chaos that's going around. And if you're healthy, it'll also keep your immune system up. You know what I mean? So this is things that we've been practicing, like, our 5 principles. What is it? Knowledge, nutrition, exercise, restoration, and consistency, which is the 5 principles that we go by, the RBG Fit Club. So that, to me, that's important. And anybody that's home, use this time to me time, like we on Stick's album where we did the song Me Time. That's what that whole thing is about on Stick's new album, Me Time. It's about you working on yourself, being the best you can be. You ain't got no job right now, like Gray was saying earlier. You get creative, think of something else, think of different streams of revenue. But definitely, I can't stress it enough, mindfulness and definitely exercise. Like, it's as important as anything you could do right now. You want to have those 2 things.
Blessing. Definitely blessing. Go ahead, Gray.
I was gonna say, I always tell people, man, just 2 things: eat healthy, be dope. You know what I mean? Like, just eat healthy and be dope. And stay creative, man, because like we were created, and you know what I mean, by creative, our greatest ability is to create. So if you don't have opportunities, create them. You don't have a job, create one. If you don't have a business, create one. Like, everything you've seen around you has been a thought into conception. So know the power that you have, you know what I mean? And what you eat, you know what I'm saying, is affects and impacts how you think and your actual perception of life and your actual reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, health is our true wealth, and people really need to understand that, because without your health, I don't care how much money you have, you're never going to be happy. I mean, I want to be breathing to enjoy the abundance of life, of, whatever I have. And, all starts with what you put in your body. I'd rather put in something that gives me life opposed to giving me death. So, absolutely, health is your wealth. A lot of people invest money in a lot of different things, and they invest zero, in their health and fitness. I mean, fitness gym, fitness training, fitness coaches, and things like that. Like, I spend money on that because I want to push this body to 100 and not with no tubes up in my nose and stuff like that. I want to be able to enjoy, because we can do that. We can live that life, So yes, the African American Vegan Starter Guide. I have your better half waiting. We're gonna bring her on in another couple of minutes, so we can talk about the fat ass pancakes. Yes, I said that, the fat ass pancakes. While we're talking about pancakes, what are your favorite foods? What do you like to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Ooh. Well, breakfast, man, I'm not really much of a breakfast guy. I'll be honest. I don't eat breakfast.
At all? You just leave the house and don't eat breakfast?
It's bad. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I don't.
Bad habit, man.
It's bad. Right.
Breakfast. I'm just addicted to avocado toast. I don't like nothing too heavy because if I
love avocado. I think that's a Latin thing. Avocado.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
It's a superfood.
I do usually smoothies during the afternoon, fresh juice, and then for dinner, it can vary. I'm addicted right now to this recipe I got for cashew pasta.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I've been that's one of my favorites right now.
So, Greg, lunch, dinner?
Yeah.
You know you don't eat breakfast, even though you got the fat ass pancakes.
I drink plant-based dripping coffee for breakfast. That's bad, you know what I mean? But
I would tell Chef Nikki to work on that.
yeah, I mean the coffee's good, but it's just without anything accompanying it. But anyway, I've been eating a lot of lentils.
Okay.
Nikki,
There goes your protein, everybody. Lentils.
yeah, lentils, rice.
That's the number one question. Where's your protein? Lentils.
Lentils, yep. So I love when she cooks. She cooks like this lentil soup stew type thing, but it's kind of thick. And you throw it on top of rice, game over. I eat that. I eat leftovers for lunch and dinner. I eat it 3 days straight. I don't care, but that's what I mean.
Somebody saw my Tina Turner. She's 80 and vegan. She looks 40. Yes, that's how I want to be. I want to be like Chef Babette. I want to be. I want to look that good. They're talking about good-looking women. We want to bring in the queen, the queen of it all, Nikki. In the mix, you gotta, be up in there with us having this discussion. I love promoting the sisters, Nikki. If you don't know that, definitely, especially you got a couple businesses going on. So just in case
you know what, I can't hear you. I can hear you from Look in the room with Gray, but I can't hear you on my speaker.
I can hear you loud and clear. Y'all
but you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear Gray. I just can't hear Coach and you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, Gray, maybe I should come in there on yours.
Come on in.
So let me do this bio. You can go in there with Greg. You can stay here. It doesn't matter. While you do that, I'm gonna read the bio. Okay. Chef Nikki is a mompreneur. Chef Nikki in the Mix is rump shaking things up with the release of her new product, Nikki's Fat Ass Cake. Who doesn't love fat ass cake? Pancakes, that is. Plus, they are vegan, soy-free, and nut-free. These pancakes are sure to leave your taste buds singing. So this is how this all happened. They were doing a live the other day, and I happened to jump in on Gray's feed, and they were talking about this pancake mix, and I'm like, what? What's going on? So I definitely had to invite Chef Nikki to talk about the pancakes and, ordering her pancakes, because we definitely got to support our own, because it's not us, then who? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm going to show a picture of the pancake right here. So it's what you say, soy-free, nut-free, gluten-free, right? No,
these aren't gluten-free, but I do have.
You do have gluten-free, so you do have gluten-free too. Where can folks order them so we get that out there?
So you go to chefnickyinthemix.com and you can order there. We sold out yesterday, so I'll have to restock the site, and I plan to do that mid-June.
Okay, make sure I have that right. Okay, so I always got to support the sisters, because in our community, it's always this, and I'm not going to say always, because we're all not like that, but it's always this, and we got to uplift our sisters, and I definitely wanted to take that time, since Gray was coming on, to let everybody know Chef Nikki has these pancakes, and we need to be supporting her with the pancakes, okay? Beautiful. Black love matter, and look at the vegan baby there. Black love matters, and we need to be supporting that, okay?
Thank
so
you.
ChefNickyInTheMix.com. Get those fat ass pancakes.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh no, not a problem. Not a problem at all. We are at we got plenty of time. I mean, so we can talk about whatever we want. We are at 6:43, so I have until 7 o'clock. So we can kind of get into other discussions here. So maybe let's look at what's going on in the chat. Anybody have? Oh, look at this. Somebody said, Coach Nim changed my life. Healthy Gangster salute. You know who that is?
Salute.
Awesome. Any questions out there? Because we can take questions right now. We can take whatever questions you want. So if anybody has any questions that they want to ask of Coach Nim, of Gray, please, now's the time to ask those questions. We are down to the last 15 minutes. I have a question. Gray, how is it being in a working relationship with your wife?
Well, no, it's up until like this point, like it's been beautiful. I'm not saying it's not, but she's about to get into her own business, you know. So like, I mean, trying to, you know, just so we haven't really like had two businesses together underneath one house. You know, she's always been right there with me with Plant Based ideas and support. So now it's my turn, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's absolutely a game changer. Like, you know, we think we have all the ideas, but women, let me tell you something, okay? They run the world, all right? And yeah, everything. Man,
I'm glad you said that with respect. Coach Nim, are you single? You want to let everybody know you're single? Everybody wants to know. Or is there somebody?
I don't know where this whole thing just went. We just been talking about Gray. And it was, man, listen, you see what you started being? All right, look, yeah, I'm single. Yeah, I'm single.
Okay. Yeah. Another question that came up was about, can you really be an ex-gangster? Isn't that like,
I seen that. And you know, yeah, you can. And you know why you can't? I mean, you're never going to, I'm gonna always be me. That's not gonna change, right? But I'm so gangster, because gangster means serious, right? It means that you're serious about what you're doing. That's what gangster means. That dude right there is serious about what he's doing. So as far as X, yeah, the streets are the X. Won't catch me on no corners. Won't catch me doing nothing illegal. That's X. All that's done. All that's the past me. All that's over, right? So there is the X. That's the X me, the X gangster, the X dude from the streets. And now I'm the healthy gangster. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there is an X.
What are your thoughts about what's happening in the animal rights movement and Black veganism? Now, there's been a lot of articles out. I mean, you've seen them in the New York Post or New York Times, as a matter of fact, that Black vegans are like the largest demographic of folks going vegan. What are your thoughts about that?
Awesome.
Absolutely.
You think we're being represented enough in that arena?
No, but I think organically, and I think we're growing. I think there's gonna be a point, maybe real soon, especially now with everything that's going on, that everybody's all of a sudden health conscious, which is great. I'm not saying nothing bad about that. I think it's soon. I think it's gonna be a thing where you're gonna see me and Gray all over the place all the time, just all the time, because we represent, you know, the truth. We're speaking the truth, and it's been needed, and I think it's happening. I think it's happening.
Yeah, because I always say that this is something that, you know, this is not new to us. We've had cultures that have done this. Like everyone, you know, thinks that you know, this whole chicken and whatever fetish that's going on. Like this is like, you know, representative of the entire Black population, and that's not true. You had the Rastas, you know, living the Ital lifestyle. And you know, you have your Indians with the whole ahimsa, you know, practice. And you know, I just don't know why people, you know, seem to believe that you know, we're not represented or we're not representative of this movement, and we are. I mean, we've always been here. Well, maybe we haven't been flamboyant about it, but we've been in it. Now, getting our people understanding the social economic challenges that a lot of our communities are going through, which is why I respect certain initiatives like, let's say, Hip Hop is Green, and people going into the neighborhoods doing the urban gardening, like what Chef Etep is doing a lot, growing our own food. That whole education concept definitely helps out. But everyone doesn't have that privilege to do that. What do you think about that? So we have the federal institutions, I'm not gonna say forcing, but you know, our children are being fed milk in the public schools, and we know what milk does to the body. What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
Nah, I was gonna say, like, I just think it's just an education piece. because for me, what helped me transition fully is to know that there's a lot of forms of oppression that we can't deal with. That's outside of our hands. One way that they target us specifically is through processed food and candy and food deserts. So if I can control what I put into my body, I can fight oppression that way. That's how I seen it. I was like, that's my way of fighting oppression. You're not gonna get me through the food. So I think if we just have the education and knowledge of connecting food to our physical and mental health, and ways to fight oppression, I think you know what I mean, systematically, you know, because it's a lot of work to be done, but one thing that you can't change is what you put in your mouth 3 times a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, and that's kind of what we were trying to do with the Vegan Soul Fest. You know, having that smack dead in a city like Baltimore because it's needed, and you know, it's great what they're doing out in Brooklyn with the Black Veg Fest, and you know, these Black Veg Fests or Soul Fests popping up all around the city. I know Georgia has theirs, and Miami has one. Okay, I didn't get to go to Miami, but when they had theirs, but they even have one that's going. Have you attended that?
I didn't, but it's actually not too far from where I'm living. So you know, when they have one again, I missed it, so I wasn't, but I can't wait to go to it.
They have one, so I'm happy to see these popping up. We're hoping that we can get the Vegan Soul Fest going this year. I don't know what to say about that, but that's the whole purpose. That's our contribution to trying to get the word out to the community. So Activist Fit, at Coach Nim, at Plant Based Drippin, RBG Fit. I wish we could, man. Like, over there, RBGFitClub.com to get the recipes, and definitely download the African American Vegan Starter Guide. That is a free guide. If we don't have any more questions, I'll take any last words, any strong messages that you gentlemen want to say, and you know, we can, you know, sign out.
I say thank you very much for the opportunity. It's good to see you guys. You guys look great. I can't wait till we see each other again in person. And keep it healthy, gangsters.
That's right.
Thank you for taking time.
Yeah, now much love, man. New music on the way. Y'all stay creative. Official great music on Instagram. Plant Based Drippin. Eat healthy, be dope, man.
Awesome. Okay, and Saturday I'm gonna have you know, some local folks in Baltimore on to kind of continue this discussion about food access and food security. The city of Baltimore. So you want to tune in Saturday at 2 o'clock. I'll have Faraji Muhammad of WEAA, Morgan's communication station. I'll have Willie Flowers of Park Heights Community Health Alliance, and Keith Tucker of Hip Hop is Green. So we're going to have that discussion about, you know, how we bring this initiative of getting into the community and getting access to food through the urban garden growing, through education, and all those type of things. So you want to tune in Saturday, 2 p.m. Jane Unchained News again. Thank you, Jane Unchained. Thank you to our sponsors, A Well-Fed World, Women Funders in Animal Rights, and Veg Fund. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to enjoy this platform and share this information with you on all the platforms that we're sharing on, that you can see if you haven't been able to jump on to see the show this evening. Thank you, Nam. Thank you, Gray. Blessings. And be well and be safe. Peace out until next time.
All right.